So I went searching all over Belgium for this one very festive item. Surprisingly, I couldn't find it anywhere. So I had to make a special order. It is that time of year where we can all make cakes, share them with one another. I wanted to make something extra joyful for today. So I did a quick search of our favorite chef mastermind, Christina Tosi, if she had any Christmas type cakes for me to make, and of course she does. She has cakes for every event of the year. So if I were to make a cake for you this holiday season, it's gonna be the Milk Bar Peppermint Bark Layer Cake. Let's get the sleigh ride started over here. Diving right in. We're gonna start with our chocolate cake, move on to our chocolate crumb. After that's the hot fudge sauce, then the peppermint bark frosting. Finally, not lastly, peppermint soak. Then we're gonna assemble that entire cake. That's what we gotta do. First things first, the cake. 115 grams of room temperature butter, 225 grams of sugar, 60 grams of light brown sugar, 3 large eggs, 110 grams of buttermilk, 105 grams of some sort of neutral oil, 1 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of cake flour, 1/2 cup cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and some salt. That's what we're using for our chocolate cake. These are our ingredients. For some of those ingredients, make sure to use a scale. Don't use the measuring cup. This is more reliable. I've been using this more and more often. I've been screwing up less and less. My bowl. With the butter, add your 2 sugars, cream it together, 2 to 3 minutes. Medium-high speed. Add your eggs. And mix for a couple more minutes. Stop. Eggshell. Now we're gonna add together the remaining liquid ingredients, the oil, buttermilk, and vanilla. We're just gonna stream them all in. Vanilla. Increase the mixer speed to medium-high. Mix this for like 4 to 6 minutes. Scrape down the sides of the bowl like this. I know that you know what I'm doing right now, mixing together the liquids, fatty ingredients. They don't combine well. So your job is to mix for 5 to 6 minutes. Make sure they do. Make sure there's no streaks in there, that it's fluffy looking. Make sure that it's double in size, pale looking, homogeneous. I think that's it. I did it, and so can you. Cake flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt. Mix this low speed only until it comes together. Super short mix, and you're done. Silky smooth. Parchment paper in doesn't fit. Pour your cake batter into your baking pan. Baking this for 30 to 35 minutes. Next up, chocolate crumb. That's all I do now, is make these crumbs. Each video is a new type of crumb, or maybe I keep making the same one, I haven't even realized. 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, teaspoon of cornstarch, 100 grams of sugar, 65 grams of cocoa powder, a little bit of salt, and 85 grams of butter, which I need to melt. Add the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, salt, cornstarch, and my melted butter. With my mixer on low speed, I'm gonna mix this until it's completely combined. It's that cocoa powder, goes everywhere. That's the cake right here. Look at the top crumbs on the very top. Those are milk crumbs, right? And see how much bigger they are than these little ones that I've made here? And the recipe actually has no mention of making your crumbs as large as that photo. I don't know if they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes or what, but I'm going to match the size of some of those crumbs so I can more closely replicate the photo that I'm looking at right now. Cake's ready. No jiggle in the center, slight bounce back on the sides. From cake, now to the crumb. Put my big guys over here. They can all hang out over there. The little guys can hang out over here. 20 minutes. Good luck. I just had chocolate on my face for I don't know how long. Could have been a while. Now Christina says that these are going to be very moist to touch, which, oh crap. They're too moist to touch. Just leave them be. She assures me that they will harden up with time. Do you hear that? The sound of jingle bells in the distance, alerting me that it's now time for hot fudge sauce. I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. 60 grams of dark chocolate, quarter cup of sugar, little bit of salt, 1.5 cups of glucose syrup. Are you crazy? Half a cup of heavy cream. Chop that chocolate. Combine the chocolate, cocoa powders. Combine the chocolate, cocoa powder, half a cup of glucose. Tosi, you crazy. Half a cup. 1.5 cups. 200 grams. Oh, this is exactly 200 grams. Isn't that nice? Oh my God. What I'm supposed to do is not combine the glucose in here. I'm not supposed to combine it in there. Chocolate and the salt, no glucose. That goes into something else. Into a saucepan, not into this bowl. So like a frickin' Scrooge, I have to take this glucose syrup, as much as I can out of here. That's all the glucose I had too. My chocolate and my cocoa powder here. This is where the glucose originally was. I have removed it from there and put it in my saucepan, which is now correct, but now it's been littered with cocoa powder. So in your saucepan, add your sugar, heavy cream. What I'm gonna do is bring this to a boil over there. Then once it starts boiling, I'm gonna bring it back over here and pour it into this bowl. Capiche? Now once this starts boiling, pour it immediately onto cocoa powder. If you have seen my chocolate malt cake video, which you should, then you have seen me do this before, which is I am whisking with a little vigor now, and in 30-second increments for a total of 4 minutes, I'm going to continue to increase my vigor until it's glossy and smooth. Glossy and silky smooth. Put it in an airtight container, put it aside. Jingle bell bark. No. We're on peppermint bark frosting, which is that's like the main event right now. That's what the whole cake is about, right? The peppermint bark. There's lots to this one right now. I should get going. It's getting dark out. 115 grams of room temperature butter. Vegetable shortening, which I don't have because they don't sell it in Belgium. So I need a substitute, which I think is just butter. I don't know. No, I didn't buy the cream cheese. I didn't buy the cream cheese. I gotta go get cream cheese. I gotta go get cream cheese. $55 grams of cream cheese. Next up is glucose syrup, which I'm trying to extract from these 2 bottles. Corn syrup, which I don't have. I'm gonna be using honey, a little bit of salt, 200 grams of icing sugar, confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, baking powder, citric acid, just a pinch, actual citric acid from a lemon. What does that say? 1 tablespoon of whole milk. Special purchase here is peppermint extract. Now do you remember my box of goodies with the candy canes? I'm gonna crush these up into like little peppermint shards. What I got going on here is my candy canes in a blender I'm going to jingle bells. In my bowl, I'm gonna add my butter, shortening and or more butter, and your cream cheese. And mix this together for 2 to 3 minutes. Add your glucose if you have enough, which I do. Wow. Corn syrup / honey. Whole milk, a drop of peppermint extract. Mix this all together, or if you were smart and had a stand mixer, you would just stream all that in. I don't, so I gotta do it the old-fashioned way. This is on the lowest speed. Okay, now I'm just thinking that since I don't have citric acid, the lemon juice that I'm using, since it's a liquid, maybe I should put that in with the other liquids now. Just a pinch. That is like a pinch. To me, that is a pinch. Until it's silky smooth and glossy white. Tastes like toothpaste. Add your icing sugar, salt, baking powder. Now medium-high heat, I'm gonna mix this for 2 to 3 minutes until it's stark white. Don't forget the sides of your bowl. Medium-high speed for 2 to 3 minutes. Until you got yourself a winter wonderland. Take a 1/4 cup of those peppermint bits, sprinkle them in, give them a good fold. I don't know if I overmixed it or what, but it's a bit broken. Now I just put the frosting in the fridge, so I'm hoping that bringing the temperature down is gonna help bring it back together, and if not, I'm gonna try something else. Okay, I brought the temperature down just a little bit. I'm gonna add some more icing sugar. Hopefully this does the trick. Brought back to life. It's a Christmas miracle. Last and least is the peppermint soak. The peppermint soak. Like 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract, just a little bit of vanilla. Take your miniature whisk and whisk it together. The last time I made a Christmas cake, it was a fruit cake, and it didn't go so hot. I'm never a really big fan of fruitcakes, and I don't know how you feel about them, but I don't think anyone really likes them. I put my heart and soul into this thing, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Didn't know how to bake. Didn't really know anything. I think this was the 3rd video I made. The chances of success back then were slim to none. So anyway, I followed through with this cake and I let it sit on the counter for, I think, 4 weeks, just letting it mature, to soak in its booze. And 4 weeks comes around, you start unwrapping it out of the tinfoil that it's in. You're expecting greatness. This thing was not great, nor good, nor okay. It was 2 thumbs down. Brought it to my family Christmas. No one liked it there either. Anyway, I tell you this story now because it's Christmas, we're making a cake, and that cake is the ghost of Christmas past. And I don't want that to happen here today, so eye on the prize. I feel like I've gone through how to assemble one of these cakes countless times. Let's just kind of breeze through it, and if you're confused about one step, there's other videos that I've made where you can kind of see the full thing. For now, let's just kind of breeze. I'm also running out of daylight. I want to get this done pronto. So let's flip our cake over. Tear off that parchment paper. Do you have a cake ring? 6 inches in diameter. Cut out 2 circles, nice circles. Tear off the pieces, plate, or something nicer than a plate. Now go to your closest art store, buy a page of acetate, cut it in half. Now you have 2 pieces. Now take your cake ring, boom, take the 2 strips and wrap them in the cake ring. Use these scraps, cut out kind of a shape of a circle. Now add the scrap pieces into the cake ring. Now once you've filled up the entire bottom layer, pat it down with your fist. Now get a pastry brush, get your peppermint soak that bottom layer. Soak it good. There's no such thing as too much. That's probably wrong. You're gonna take some of that fudge sauce, 1/3 of it, 1/3 of those chocolate crumbs. The little ones though, just add the little ones. Now if you have any leftover crushed peppermint, you're gonna put those on top of the crumbs. Oh, Merry Christmas. And on top of that, 1/3 of your peppermint bark frosting. Now mine is really cold and not very spreadable. This is when things start getting messy. Second piece of cake onto here, and we're just gonna repeat everything we just did. It's that easy, watch. Yeah, why does it say use 1/3 of the fudge sauce when it should just be 1/2 of it? You can just go all out. And your last piece of cake on top. Now I did this last time I made one of these cakes, which was I did an initial crumb coat, which is just like a messy layer of the icing on top of this cake. Now I'm just gonna put this in the fridge for like 10 minutes so that that frosting firms up. 10 minutes later, that has firmed up, looking good. Remaining frosting on top. Make it look nice, guys. Right on top, right? So everyone's gonna see it. So with the milk crumb, these guys here, remember I made some bigger crumbs here. I am going to refer to the photo. That is what I'm gonna try to do. As close to that as I can. Like the star on the Christmas tree, place it delicately on the very top. Lastly, I'm going to take some of these grinded up candy canes and sprinkle them. I don't know if I like that. Too late now. Nothing I hate more than working with plastic wrap. It never cleanly rips off. Get this into the freezer overnight. Don't think about it and take the rest of the night off. You've earned it. Good night, sweet angel. If you're looking for a cake that encapsulates the holiday season, you found it, right here. This is the one. It's like standing under the mistletoe and you're giving just a very gentle kiss to your taste buds. Bring it where you're going, potlucks, family dinners, throw it down on the table and say, Merry f***ing Christmas. It's a statement cake. Okay, my friends, that's all I got today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. You can support the show if you'd like over at Patreon, which is linked down below. I have an mailing list now at antichef.com, which provides news, updates, everything that goes on over here. That's it. Happy holidays. See you guys soon.